Andrew Jackson's reign as president is often disputed. In order to gain a better understanding of these discrepancies, we look to Daniel Feller, personnel at University of Tennessee.
Americans have always looked at Andrew Jackson and seen themselves. But over the years, they've looked at Andrew Jackson and seen different versions of themselves. At one time, they saw the frontiersman, the poor boy made good, the classic self-made man. Today, some Americans look back at Jackson and they see the slaveholder, the Indian oppressor, even the Indian hater. So the debate about Andrew Jackson is a very contemporary one. He's an inescapable, quintessential American, but of what kind? Is he a man whom we should admire, or is he a man whom we should despise? Is he a man whom we should celebrate, or is he a man for whom we should apologize?
The following video will examine notorious events in Andrew Jackson's presidency and his emotions during them in order to shed light on Daniel Feller's question. In the election of 1828, Jackson's supporters cast the general as Old Hickory, a rough-and-tumble Democrat whose frontier decisions created his reputation as the hero of the Battle of New Orleans. They trumpeted his humble beginnings, referring to him as the people's president. This view quickly changed as Jackson's presidency wore on. Following his inauguration, Jackson unabashedly appointed his political supporters to office. The replacement of office holders was dubbed the spoil system and shows Jackson's radical behavior. Despite his shortcomings, the 8th president was extremely adept and became the only officer-in-chief to leave the United States debt-free. But, in his usual inconsistent manner, Jackson reverted to his tyrannical rule with his enforcement of the Indian Removal Act of 1830.
This act empowered Jackson to forcibly evict all the Indian tribes living east of the Mississippi River. 5 Indian nations were directly affected: the Choctaw, Chickasaw, Creek, Seminole, and Cherokee. Of the 5, the Cherokee tribe, located in Georgia, chose to fight the eviction in a surprising way.
Instead of going on the warpath the way their fathers and grandfathers might have done, this generation of Cherokee Indians took Georgia to court.
The case went all the way to the United States Supreme Court. In an historic decision, Chief Justice John Marshall ruled in favor of the Cherokee, saying they did not have to move. But Andrew Jackson thought differently.
Jackson said of Marshall, he made his ruling, now let him enforce it.
The result was that they were rounded up at gunpoint and forced to move. Their property was seized, and they were forced west. Of course, on the Cherokees' forced march, about 1 out of every 4 Cherokees died en route, which is why they call it the Trail of Tears.
It is, without a doubt, the most controversial decision Jackson would make in his career, and is one of the saddest chapters in American history.
Jackson's forced removal of the Indian tribes resulted in his typecast as an aggressor, someone who was unwarrantedly brutal and ignored the state's laws. This decision would color the rest of Andrew Jackson's presidency.